WWE video games have come under a lot of complaints and criticisms lately. However, this morning, or this afternoon really, UK time, 2K have made a statement regarding the future of WWE video games and the road ahead, including announcing a brand new WWE game and officially announcing that WWE2K21 will not be happening. So what is the news? Well, I'm not going to read the entire statement, which is available on, I think it's WWE2K.com. It's certainly not, I don't think it's entirely exactly what we expected. We have heard rumours the last couple of weeks at least that 2K21 would be cancelled, and partly due to, of course, the reaction that 2K20 has received, and I think partly because of what's going on in the world right now. It's very difficult for places to continue developing games, which may ended up putting the kibosh on any 2K21 game. So I'm not going to read the whole entire statement from 2K, but I will talk about this and instead about the new game, which is entitled WWE2K Battlegrounds. So this statement begins: from everyone at 2K, we hope you and your families are all well and safe. We also hope that our games continue to bring you joy and help you stay connected and engaged during these uncertain times. With that in mind, we've got news to share in the world of WWE 2K video games, and want to give you a candid look at the road ahead. And I'm reading this from my laptop just so that I'm sure that I give you the right. I know I'll fluff the words a little bit, but just to give you the right information. Let's begin with the surprise. We've got two words for you. New game. It says, we're thrilled to introduce you to WWE 2K Battlegrounds, a completely new WWE gaming experience that will feature arcade-style action and over-the-top superstar designs, environments, and moves. We're focusing on social pick-up and play fun, but with plenty of depth for those who want to get way into it. Obviously, 2K Battlegrounds, it is an arcade-style fighting game, very kind of Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter-esque, caricature characters on this game, disproportionate bodies, bigger heads. If you see the 26-second teaser trailer that's online, and there's a link to it on the page where they make the statement. I'm sure it'll be spread around. We see Becky Lynch, for example, use fire coming from her hand, so it's very much a arcade, as it says, fighting game, but slightly over the top. Very much, I believe, in the style of WWE All Stars, which was released a few years ago. It's quite over the top. If you punch them, it's very reminiscent. It's almost kind of like a remake of All Stars, and I know those type of games have been around for many years, but in terms of WWE video games, that's what it seems like to me. It's not too enthralling to me personally. I bought All Stars. I kind of enjoyed it. It was okay for a bit of fun sometimes. I wasn't the greatest fan of it. WWE kind of been looking to make that kind of game for many years, even years and years ago. There was talk about WWE kind of Mortal Kombat style game, street fighting kind of game, kind of mixture between that and the WCW Backstage Assault kind of game, where there would be a ring, but or possibly there'd be a ring, but there would be kind of a Mortal Kombat Street Fighter style storyline to the whole game for the different characters. It never came to fruition, but certainly, this I don't know whether this game will be entirely successful, whether it'll be a hit with fans. We'll wait and see what it's like when it comes out. It's a real pity that we don't really get as many demos these days as we used to. We used to get even CDs or DVDs, with the PlayStation had demos of the games where we could check them out, short versions of the game, but we don't really get that nowadays. We get some demos on the PlayStation Store, but we never really get to see WWE demos, unfortunately, anymore. It says whether you're a casual gamer just learning the ropes or a passionate fan ready for the action, WWE2K Battlegrounds provides another way to enjoy WWE video game action. This game is being developed by Saber Interactive, the studio behind NBA Playgrounds, who have been hard at work on WWE2K Battlegrounds and are excited to let you smell what they're cooking. It says WWE2K Battlegrounds is scheduled to launch this fall, and we look forward to sharing more information about the game in the coming months. Don't know anything else about the game, how big the roster will be, whether you could import from 2K20 or 2K19, which you could do in All Stars. I'm pretty sure you could install crossover characters from one of the WWE video games that was out at that time. I'm pretty sure you could. But whether that'll be anything like that or any DLC or whatever, I don't know. So, that's WWE2K Battlegrounds coming out this fall. Not too enthralling personally, I think I said that. But some fans may like it, and it might be a good video game just for those younger fans, your nieces, your nephews, little brother and sister, the button bashers. It might just be good, for a good fun little game to play. So we'll see what that's like. Now they do want to address WWE 2K20, saying they've heard and appreciated the feedback, continuing to listen closely. Since launch, they've released 5 updates, addressed hundreds of reported concerns, have released the DLC expansions, and they've also heard your request to keep the WWE 2K19 servers running. They will remain active for the time being. 2K19, to be honest, I've not really played it 2K19 hugely lately, but I think 2K seems to be a more solid game. 2K19 certainly is the more solid game of the last couple of years. I'm talking about 2K19 and 2K20. All that being said, we hear you and we know you want more from the franchise, so here's what we're going to do. We are applying what we've learned to the next WWE2K simulation game with a renewed focus on quality and fun. And here is where we have the news that we all have expected these last couple of weeks. As part of that commitment, we are extending the production timeline and will not be releasing a WWE 2K simulation game this fall as we normally would. So, as the rumours have suggested, whether that's due to budget cuts, lots of theories, I know there was a former developer on YouTube that has made video games about what he thought about making WWE video games. He participated in a few of them a couple of years ago. A lot of the rumours and speculation were that WWE 2K would not be having a 2K21, partly again due to the reaction of 2K20, which, as I said, is it still broken? I've not played it really, so I don't exactly know, but it's certainly been one, as I think I said earlier, one of the most unsuccessful releases of any WWE video game in many years. And hopefully this will kind of give them a kick up the butt and let them focus on making a solid game. I don't know the processes behind it. I don't want to kind of judge it, but I did kind of get the impression that part of the game's failure in terms of being a kind of broken game, certainly at least when it first came out, was this focus on all these weird and unusual kind of arenas and takes on the characters, zombies, and all these Mad Max style futuristic apocalyptical kind of designs. Were they concentrating more on that, and it kind of become almost like one of the early WCW PlayStation games. But yeah, I played them as well. Grew up a WCW fan, as I've always said. Nitro, Thunder, Mayhem, I played all of them pretty much in the PlayStation system anyway. Even Backstage Assault, which was actually could have been a decent game, but obviously it's not. It wasn't. And to be honest, I just think that Well, I think hopefully, I just think it would. All of the advertising, a lot of stuff was about the different characters' designs, the unusual arenas. Maybe they were more too focused on that rather than concentrating on making sure the game had a solid platform, and then releasing this stuff as DLC, which obviously they did. But I think they were kind of taking too much time and concentrating on that stuff. It looks like to me. Is it true? I don't know, but I doubt they were going a little bit too far with the fun. I suppose not with the fun, but with the unusual and weird aspects of that kind of bringing that stuff into a wrestling game. I think they were concentrating on that kind of too much rather than making a solid wrestling game. Maybe people will disagree, but hopefully 2K will work on bringing us which I would assume would be WWE2K22 next year. It says we want to ensure the developmental team at Visual Concepts can create a great game that will entertain grizzled WWE2K veterans as well as newcomers who want to climb through the ropes and step into the ring for the very first time. It says that they've recruited Patrick Gilmore to serve as their new executive producer and lead these efforts at Visual Concepts. He's over 25 years of experience in video games, from Disney's Aladdin on Sega Genesis, to things like Killer Instinct, Medal of Honor, and Amazon's New World. He'll be overseeing 2K development, and we'll hear more from him and the team in the months to come. We hope you find this as exciting as we do. We are confident it will lead to better games in the future. It also states that they'll keep continuing with WWE Supercard. Expect to see more card tiers, game modes, and in-game events, and more exciting announcements as WWE Supercard content continues to roll out. In closing, we want to thank you again and hope you'll join us in celebrating these announcements. 2K and WWE are reaffirming a long-term commitment to expand the WWE games family in ways that directly benefit you, the fans. We are taking the time we need to deliver the quality you deserve, while at the time offering new experiences and new ways to have fun with the WWE superstars you love. And that's the bottom line, because 2K said so. And that's from the WWE Games team at 2K, Visual Concepts, Cat Daddy, and Saber Interactive. So that is basically the statement that 2K have made. I really have to kind of wonder where WWE2K video games go in the future. Maybe I'm a bit of an old school guy and I would like to see WWE, and I kind of appreciate the fun aspects of the kind of apocalyptical zombie-ish stuff that has been introduced to 2K20. I kind of appreciate that, and I understand a lot of these games are for kids, not 36-year-olds like me. But I kind of appreciate these fun aspects, but I would like to see it be a really solid, especially if they are which I think is the best way, if they are still working on making these games simulation games, which I think in professional wrestling is the best way forward. I prefer simulation games to arcade games, as if you can't already tell. The ones where you can press the button, you can go up, use your character to go up and apply an armbar or a leg lock, or do a particular move at a particular time that you want to, instead of, like I said, arcade game, the All Stars, or now 2K Battlegrounds, where you're just button bashing and just punching and kicking, and over the top action. I prefer the simulation games. Maybe again I'm a bit of a kind of old school style minded wrestling fan, but 2K certainly they seem. It's WWE and 2K seem intent on continuing their partnership. They're intent on continuing to make the video games together. I really hope this period, elongated period of making a video game I really do hope they focus on a solid wrestling game, rather than throwing in a lot of different elements to the game. I think that's really my general takeaway from what is going on. They need to concentrate on making a solid base of a wrestling game, and then continue it there. They like taking risks and introduce stuff like that in the DLCs, and I don't mind that. If I buy a season pass, then I will obviously be downloading stuff. Obviously, up to individual choice. One thing that I will say, I do want them. I don't want. I would hate. Firmware has become a really big part of video games and computer technology. For these updates, software updates. I would really hope that 2K concentrates on making sure this game is solid. Make sure that it is. I don't know what the exact computing terms is, but make sure that the codes and everything in the game work before they release it, instead of relying on firmware software updates to correct many bugs. I know there can be occasional bugs and teething problems for video games and other software. Sometimes it's inevitable. Sometimes the bugs only come out once the game's released, and I understand that. But I think there's too much of a concentration on, okay, we'll just get this game out quick as we can, and any bugs or any issues with it, we'll patch it later. That's becoming a little bit, that's the danger point, I think, for 2K. They don't want to rely on that. They want to kind of act like, well, they do. They want, in my opinion, they want to act, like this is a finished game, like there's not going to be any more updates to it, and it be a solid, playable game. So I'm actually hoping, like I said, this will give 2K plenty of time to work on 2K22, I believe it would probably be called, and bring out a solid game which will be good. Obviously, there'll be a lot of work they'll have to put into it. We don't know obviously who the superstars are going to be. There's going to continually be roster changes. We've seen that lately. The technology change as well. Before I wrap this up, the PlayStation 5 is coming out. Where will 2K stand on the next game being released? Depending on what's happening in the world when the PlayStation 5 is officially released, where they're going to stand on which consoles that the game's going to be released on. But certainly, I'm kind of optimistic. Hopefully this whole situation will give 2K a kick up the butt if they need it, and they'll be able to concentrate on making a really solid game. And yeah, okay, 2K20 wasn't the hit that they would like it to have been, but hopefully they'll come back with WWE2K22, and it will be a huge hit with all the fans.